Good morning, everyone. It's Stephanie with Lumeria Star. I'm filming this video in the morning before I start work. So I thought this would just be like a nice quiet time to do my recent roundup video. So this is basically just a roundup of kind of like new decks, books, and witchy things that have kind of come into my world, and I wanted to share them with you all. So just a reminder for those of you who don't know, I am still in my no-buy year. So these decks were gifted to me in some way, shape, or form. And an update with that, I have backed one deck on Kickstarter so far as of June 2023, which I think is still really awesome. So I'm not beating myself up for that. I'm still kind of operating as if it's a no-buy year, but I did say like I'm giving myself permission to back like decks I've really been looking forward to, or if I find like a really great like vintage or hard to find out of print deck. So that's aside from the point, but basically these like deck roundup videos are just a way to kind of share decks that have come into my collection, or maybe some decks I've modded, because I have one of those in here as well. And it's just kind of a fun way to share this with you all. So without further ado, I think we're going to start with decks because decks are most fun to share. So this deck recently made its way to me. This was sent to me for review by Insight Editions. This is the Universal Monsters Tarot deck and guidebook. For those of you who don't know, I love horror. I love spooky, scary, anything. And part of why I love that is from like classic kind of Hollywood type monsters, like of the old like vintage Hollywood days. So I'm really excited to check this deck out. It's a two-piece box. It has like, you can feel there's some like spot gloss on here, and this is kind of like raised or embossed. So the box is really nice. So it says here, the most famous movie monsters of all time have emerged from the shadows to guide your tarot readings in this ghastly take on the traditional tarot deck. Featuring stunning original artwork inspired by classic tarot iconography, the 70-card deck depicts spine-chilling imagery and themes from the legendary Universal Pictures monster films, including iconic characters such as Frankenstein's monster, Count Dracula, the Wolfman, the creature from the Black Lagoon, the Phantom of the Opera, and more. So that's really fun. So I am really excited to check this out. I am aware it's an Insight Editions deck, so they often can be a little bit on the pippish side, which me personally, that can be hit or miss. But if it's like a subject or like theme that I enjoy, I can oftentimes look past that. So that being said, we're going to take a look. I did already look through this once when I first got it, so that's why like there's no plastic on it. So we're going to take a look together though. So we've got this ribbon here, ribbon pull out. This is the inside of the box. Inside of the box right here. So we're going to move this off to the side. And we'll look at the guidebook later, but I always like to look at the deck first. So these are the backs, which are interesting. We've got like this eyeball, we've got airplanes right here, and these are reversible. Yeah, they're reversible. They're not edged or anything. This could look really cool with either like a black or a blood red, or we even got these like pops of like yellowy green here, so that could be cool. All right, so I don't think I'm gonna like walk through this whole deck. I just definitely wanted to share a bit, but if you do want a full walkthrough, let me know, and I can certainly do that in another video. So we're just gonna show, I'm gonna show probably all the majors. I feel like Bride of Frankenstein is really popular for the Empress. Like my Halloween tarot has her as well for the Empress. So I think this could be really fun for people who love Halloween, for, you know, the Samhain, darker half of the month, or the year, I mean. If you're a film person, if you love classic, vintage, old Hollywood, oh my gosh, can I talk today? Hollywood films, you might really like this as well. This feels very nostalgic to me. I did watch a lot of old, like, black and white Hollywood type monster films when I was younger. I would watch them on the Sci-Fi Channel by myself because I was a weird kid. Okay, so those are the majors. So it looks like the minors are renamed. So candles, I'm guessing, is wands. And it looks a bit pippish, yeah. It gives you enough, but it's still pretty pippish. Okay, so I'm not going to show everything. So crypts, I'm not sure what suit this is. Can I deduce what this is? Is this pentacles? Can I figure out, or is it cups? Crypts might be cup. I think crypts is cups. And then we've got claws. This is probably swords, I'm guessing. Yeah, this feels swords-like. And then, what do we have? Castles. This must be pentacles. Is this pentacles? Now I'm curious. All right, so let me know if you want a full walkthrough of this deck. If you do, let me know in the comments down below. I'm happy to make a video kind of like slowing down and going through all of that. But now I'm curious what the renamed suits are. So let's see here. I'm really interested to read what the guidebook says too, just about each of the monsters. Okay, so they consist of 4 suits: candles, crypts, claws, and castles. These suits align with traditional, okay, so candles is wands, crypts was cups. Oh, claws is swords, and castles is pentacles. So I was right. So it looks like we've got like a guidebook with color images, which is really nice, and then like smaller images for the minors. And it looks like each one we have a light and shadow meaning, which is great, considering these are monsters. And in the back, we've got some spreads, Wolf's Moon, the monster lives. So they're just kind of like kitschy, you know, on theme kind of spreads. So I am excited to play around with this come like October. I probably won't use it until then, just because I really like to work with the energy of the deck. And this is obviously this is an October deck for sure. So let me know what you think down below of the Universal Monsters Tarot deck and guidebook, and comment if you'd like to see a more in-depth walkthrough of that. Okay, let me take a sip of my tea. All right, so the next deck that actually just came to me in the mail this past week, I don't believe this is out yet, as well as the Universal Monsters. I think these are on pre-order at the moment. This is the Magical Self-Care Tarot. This is by Leah Vandervelt, illustrations by Emma Taylor. So this is by Sicko Books, and this is another type of deck that when I see this box, they tend to be pippish. So I was a little nervous. And spoiler alert, it is pippish, but we're gonna take a look at it. This isn't my favorite type of box, I will say that, but I do really like this illustration style, and I like how there's a self-care like lens of this deck. And, you know, I'm really working a lot on developing my own self-care. So, you know, I'm always curious what decks have to offer. So this is what it looks like when you open the box, it's like this kind of slide-in situation. Again, not my favorite, but we shall see. So I have already opened this. I took the plastic off and I did kind of flip through this on my own separately. And I have some thoughts. I really like the artwork. Like I said, I really like the illustration style. It is Pippish, which isn't my favorite. These backs are pretty. It's a little bit larger than standard tarot, I would say. And of course, I don't have any standard tarot near me to show. I will say though, these cards, I'm going to feel like a snob right now, but I'm going to say it. This, whatever this cardstock is, and this laminate, like this laminate, it feels like this, okay, this is going to sound mean, but I'm just trying to be honest. And it's not the creator's fault, because like the artwork and I'm sure the guidebook are awesome, but it's like the production quality. It feels like these were like construction paper, and it was like in elementary school when you put something in like the lamination machine. That's what this feels like. It feels like this was laminated. So take that for what it's worth. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but yeah, it feels like these were homemade and created in a lamination machine. So with that being said, the artwork is really pretty. And some things I will note that I like. I really like the color palette. Again, I like this illustration style. It also includes some like astrological components, which is cool. So I'll show you the majors here. I really like this like soft color palette. I like how we have diversity in our deck. The majors are quite pretty. Again, I love this like pastel soft color palette. The production quality on some of these, I don't know if you can see, but it almost looks like streaky. I don't know if that's the way it's supposed to look, because the other ones don't, so I don't know. This one also looks a little streaky, so I don't know if this is just a me copy or that's what it's supposed to look like. I'm not sure. Okay, so when we get into the minors, they are Pippish, but they do each have a keyword, which I thought was interesting. So this could actually, and again, this is like very Pippish, like very Pippish compared to the deck I just showed, the Universal Monsters. This is beyond Pippish, but there are keywords, so it could be a fun deck if you want to play around with tips. And there's keywords, so that's kind of cool. The one thing I do like about this is they rename the quartz. So we have our page as a seeker, our knight's apprentice, the queens are witches, obviously love that, and the kings are sages. So I do like that renaming. And then again, we go back into the minors and we've got the keywords here. Again, seeker, apprentice, witch, this is the image on the box, so pretty. Sage, that's gorgeous in this garden. And we've got our minors of the swords. Seeker, apprentice, witch, and sage, and then the cups. The keywords are good in my opinion. Like they kind of match up to what I look at, my own keywords. Seeker, apprentice, Witch of Cups, I love her. And Sage, I love this throne he's on, the shell. So, I mean, you can kind of take it for what it's worth. I'm definitely going to try using it. It's not a perfect deck by any means, but I do think, again, art style is going for it. There's some cool astrological symbols on it. The keywords make it interesting. It could make it a very easy read, and if you're playing around with pips. And I do like the renaming of the quartz. I do also like that it is a self-care tarot. So for each card, let me show you. For each card, well, at least with the majors, you get the astrological association, upright, reversed, and you get a self-care specific meaning. You get a keyword and you get a spell, which is pretty much like an affirmation. So for the Magician, I'm making my dreams a reality. For the Fool, I trust the magic within and around me. So I do like that. Let's go to the minors. So interestingly here, the minors do give you kind of like pip interpretations, like numerologically what they mean, as well as the court cards. So I do think this actually could be a pretty good learning deck. And then for the minors, you have a smaller image here. You have upright meaning, reverse meaning. You still get the self-care message, and you still get the spell, which I'm kind of saying is like an affirmation. So like Two of Wands, my resolve calls forth my unfolding path. So I'm going to give this deck a try. It's not perfect. It does feel like it was laminated in an old school lamination machine, but I don't like to write decks off just because of production qualities. I don't think that's like fair. And weirdly, this material feels nostalgic. Like it feels like laminated flashcards, like in elementary school, like when your teacher was like giving you like, I don't know, a project to work on. So I don't know, maybe this is like an inner child deck for me. I don't know. Well, you will see. But I'm glad this was sent to me, and I am really curious how this is going to read. So stay tuned for that. If you do want a full, complete walkthrough of this deck, let me know in the comments below. And also just let me know what you think of what I showed. Would you work with this? Not interested at all? Let me know all the things. That is the the Magical Self-Care Tarot by Sicko Books. Okay. The last deck I want to show is, I've already had this deck, but I did a little mod. So this is the Rainbow Moon Tarot. This is by Samantha West. This is the mass market edition. There was originally an indie edition of this deck, and I believe it was renamed, or it was originally named the Marble Moon Tarot. So this has been renamed in mass market as the Rainbow Moon Tarot. And I wasn't really using it, and I couldn't figure out why. And I realized a few things, which tend to be, I've noticed, I'm learning about myself, what I like and what I don't like. And I don't like a lot of borders, and I don't like cheaper gilding. And again, this is not a knock on creator. I love Sam's work, and this is not a Sam thing. This is a publishing house thing, and a lot of creators don't get a say in that. So anyway, these are the backs now because I trimmed off all the borders because they just weren't doing it for me, and I did not like the rainbow holographic edging. It was kind of cheap in my opinion, a little sharp. So I trimmed them all off, and I edged it in a lime green, which if anyone has her indie edition, it is actually created with a lime green, and I really liked that better. So this was a fun little project to do. It wasn't without some like hiccups because the border, it had this little, if you can see this triangle here, and I was like, okay, I can't trim that any lower. So I kept them and just wrote the number in with a little like micron pen. And I feel like it came out really nice. I'm enjoying this. I haven't used it a lot since I modded it, but I'm excited about the mod. I like what I did. It feels more personal to me now. It feels smaller in my hands, which I like smaller decks. I love the edges. The edges make me really happy. I wasn't vibing with the rainbow one. And I'm hoping to maybe find a cute little tarot bag for this because it's smaller. I don't really need to lug around the big box. And we'll see. Perhaps I will be using this deck more this summer because of its bright color palette. I love Sam's artwork. It's just so like unique and quirky and otherworldly and strange, and I've probably said this in a previous video, but her artwork typically taps into my like inner teenager. So I like to use her deck specifically for inner teenage work. So this is a deck I will definitely be working with a lot more closely this summer. And I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with my mod. What do you all think? Let me know your honest opinion. If you hate it, that's okay. You can tell me. But I love it. It's so good. It feels so good in my hands. I love smaller decks. I just feel like I can like infuse my energy deeper into it. I know, I'm so weird. So that is my mod of the Rainbow Moon Tarot. And that's been another really fun thing with this like no buy year thing I've been trying to do is I'm trying not to act on impulse to buy things. So I'm really seeing what I have, seeing what I maybe don't use, and I'm like, okay, well, how can I make this usable? So that's been pretty cool. So those are the only decks I'm showing, and then I have 2 books and some witchy things. So let me take a sip of my tea. Okay. The next thing I wanted to share, this is a new book that has been sent to me. This is Reading Tarot Leaves. Oh my gosh, tarot all day, every day. Reading Tea Leaves, Discover What Brews in Your Future. So this is by April Wall. This is a really nice hardcover book. I don't know anything about reading tea leaves. It's always been something that kind of intrigued me as a tea drinker. I mean, I drink coffee too. I am drinking tea right now. But I've never tried this form of divination. Ooh. Oh, hold on. Okay. I've never tried this form of divination, so I'm just really interested to give this book a read. And I have so many loose leaf teas, like so many loose leaf teas. And I think this would be really fun to try. I have a friend who, she probably does tea leaf readings, but she actually does coffee cup readings. And instead of the leaves, she reads like the coffee grounds. And I found that to be so interesting. I didn't get a reading, but I got a reading done for a friend of mine for her birthday, and I went with her. And you can actually see shapes in there. It was wild. So this looks like this book is set up in a similar way. Like you're looking for these types of shapes in the leaves or in the coffee grounds. So you could probably use this book for coffee reading as well. So I just find this super interesting. It looks like we've got all the shapes here and what they mean. This form of divination is so interesting and new to me. I guess you can see like zodiac signs. That's so cool. So I'm really excited to just take a look at this. Let me know in the comments below. Do you read tea leaves? Is it something you're interested in? Is it something you'd be interested in seeing on my channel or on my Instagram? Would you like to see tea leaf readings or like what they look like and me trying to divine with them? Let me know in the comments below. This is definitely on my summer reading list. Yeah, you know what's funny? I'm going to go off on a tangent for a second. Also with my no buy year, I've noticed that because I'm not spending my energy like acquiring and playing with new decks, I've noticed my energy is getting more curious in learning other areas. So for example, I've noticed recently I have an urge to learn or go deeper with a new system, and I can't decide if it's going deeper with Lenormand, going deeper with Marseille, or going deeper with runes. I was actually going to put a post up on my Instagram, like, what do you all think? Like, which one should I go into next, and like what resources you can recommend. But I think that's definitely because I'm not in this like acquiring phase anymore, and now I want to like go deeper into my studies. So yeah, that's a little side tangent, but let me know if you think any, like, what should be my next deep dive? Lenormand, Marseille. Oh, playing cards was another one. So Lenormand, Marseille, playing cards, and runes. And I guess maybe tea leaves now. So let me know what you would like to see next, like on my channel and on my socials. And if it's a practice that you do, let me know what you think about it. And if you have recommendations, you can send my way. Anyway, that was a tangent, but reading tea leaves on my summer reading list. Okay, so another book I was sent, this is not a witchy book, but this is kind of like a haunted book. I love how I'm getting sent like books now from authors. Like, that really excites me because I'm such a book person. I love bookstores, bookshops, reading, all the things. So this was sent to me by the creator, and like, look how pretty this packaging is. I was gonna wait to open it till the video, so let's open it now. So we have here, this is a really pretty print. This is a postcard. This book is called The Unwritten Book, and I will get into it, what it means in a minute. People are going to die. I think that's what that's supposed to say. These are all postcards. This is fun. Okay, so this is the book that was sent to me. This was sent to me by, oh, I forget the publishing company. It says Picador USA. So this is The Unwritten Book, an investigation by Samantha Hunt. So this is a little bit about the book. It says a stunning debut work of nonfiction from one of the best American writers. So we love that. This is, well, I'll just read the back. It says, what is it to be haunted, to be a ghost, to die, to live, to read? The Unwritten Book gathers subjects that haunt. The dead, the forest, the towering library of all those books we'll never have time to read or write. Samantha Hunt, like a mad crossword puzzler, looks for patterns and clues. She explores motherhood, hoarding, addiction, grief, how we insulate ourselves from the past, how we misinterpret the world. Nestled within her inquiry is a very special ghost book, an incomplete manuscript about people who can fly without wings, written by her father and found in his desk just days after he died. What secrets might his work reveal? The Unwritten Book conveys a wild, grateful life that sheds fear for wonder and revels in randomness, connectivity, the magic of everyday existence, and the immense weight of love. So this just sounds so interesting and deep and evocative, and it goes, there's a little scratch here, and it goes into, ooh, I have a little note here. I didn't even see this. I'm going to read this. Hello. I grew up in a wild house, haunted not only or not necessarily by ghosts, but loads of spirits, i.e. jinn, books, color, siblings, secrets. I collected them in The Unwritten Book, and I hope you enjoy it. To celebrate the paperback, I made these postcards, which is the ones I showed. I love the postal system. If the feeling moves you, please mail 1, 2, or 5 to your friends. Viral as a Luddite. Luddite? I don't know what that means. Yours, Samantha. Oh, this is so fun. So yeah, I just feel like this is such an interesting topic. And if you know me, you know I love haunted, spooky, dark things. So I am really excited to get into this book. And it's I guess, a collection of essays. So this is probably going to be a really easy read. I will let you all know what I think of the book, but I definitely wanted to take time and share that on here because this feels in my aesthetic, and I feel like it needed to be shared in this video. So that is The Unwritten Book, an investigation by Samantha Hunt. And the last two things that I wanted to share, and I did share this on my Instagram stories, are these candles. And these are candles in a candle subscription box by one of my dear friends. This is my friend Kim. Her company is Radiant Angel Candle Company, which are these beauties. So she has like co-designed this subscription box with Lauren and Alchemy. She's another local sea witch in my area, and she's the one who basically, so Kim creates the candles for the new and full moon, and Lauren writes the like the kind of like information in the spell work. So we can take a look at these real quick. So we just had a full moon in Sagittarius. I haven't burned this one yet. I really should, because we're moving into like new moon energy. Ooh, that's a little piece of the packing paper there. Look how pretty this is, and this smells so good. This is definitely lavender. Oh, it's so good. And what's cool is if you do the candle like subscription box, you know you have a candle for each new and full moon within the month. And you also get information on it. So this one's for the full moon in Sagittarius, which was on June 3rd. So we get information about the full moon, specifically in Sagittarius. You get a tarot card pulled for you. So this was the Five of Cups, her interpretation of that. And then we've got some moon journaling. So we've got some journal prompts, which is really cool. Some crystals associated with this. Really lovely. So I need to burn this. Actually, I'm going to leave this out on my desk right now to burn. And then the new moon is coming up. Is that this weekend? No, it's next week. So the new moon is on the 18th. And we've got our new moon in Gemini candle. Let's open that up. Smells so good. So we've got dried flowers here, and we've got some beautiful crystals. It looks like, I don't know, I guess we'll see what the crystals are. So let's take a look at the little pamphlet here. So we talk about the new moon in Gemini. The tarot card that was pulled for us is the Queen of Cups from the Light Seers deck. So I can read that. I'm not going to read this until I do my own like new moon kind of celebration. And then we've got journaling prompts. So let's see here for the new moon in Gemini. How can I make peace with all parts of me? Where do I need more balance? What do I want to grow for the coming season? We've got like a little like small meditation here. And it looks like the stones in here is bloodstone and obsidian and moonstone. Lovely. So this is all my witchy roundup type things. So we've got some tea leaf reading books and some haunted kind of spooky books and candles, and deck mods, and some newer mass market decks that are coming out soon. So let me know what you think of all these things. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are on any of this, and what form of divination should I start like studying and going deeper into, and what would you be curious or want to see here, and also maybe what's a system that you're really into right now and you can share some of your knowledge with me. So anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I'm going to go start my day now, and if you like this video, please give it a like. Feel free to subscribe if you're new here. It's free and it helps, you know, smaller channels. And I hope to see you all in the next video. Take care, everyone. Bye.